I think Iran sent some missiles over Israel. Well, what do you know about that? No, that's all I know. And if we're making political decisions as voters in the future, is it all going to be on quick one-hit lines and decisions are made accordingly?
Well, I think we kind of experienced that 20 years ago when USA Today started being published.
Exactly.
They were really the frontiers of saying, we're going to give you a quick headline. If you want more, keep on going, but we're going to just tell you what we think you need to know. And I think that's where we've gone with social media. So, but that's up to us to
Totally.
dig deeper. And I hadn't thought about that as far as technology, but it does make a difference.
It sure does. Predictions for the future, 5-10 years, not only in city schools, but as educators, as people professionally and passionate about education. Any predictions the next 20-25 years, or am I going too far into the future?
I think obviously dealing with technology and what that looks like, especially with the rapid pace that AI is coming and how that changes things for us. And I think, this is a really unique generation that's going to experience that growth in a very fast way. So I think it's going to be about responding to that appropriately. But, I think it's going to continue to be about choice and giving students more opportunity to choose what is that path for them, and building those skills that they're going to need, again, for jobs that don't exist. And that it goes back to collaboration, communication, and something I'm incredibly passionate about and I talk about every chance I can, which is literacy. At the end of the day, I cannot foresee a future, and I hope that's where being a proficient and capable literate student who can read in complex text and analyze complex text is not going to be incredibly important, and perhaps even more important than ever. So I think about, as we look to the future, we think about technology, we think about the changes we're seeing there, but I also think it's incumbent upon us to make sure that every child has those basic reading and math skills they need to be successful, because I don't see reading or math changing, and we got to make sure that that's going to be a key role, whatever they do, and so making sure they're prepared to do that and do it well.
So long as they read more than the,
That's right.
I call it the telegraph literacy.
But they still need to read that.
They need to read that and understand it.
Yeah.
I guess one word that maybe is from my perspective in the college level, but I think it's perspective of all of life. How to be creative, how to think out of the box, how to take risks of thought, how to, in whatever age. My wife was a teacher for 32 years, second, third, fourth grade, and she specifically and she was primarily in math, and she said, take a 6 or 7 year old to the grocery store and say you have, of course prices have gone up, but you have $30 to fill up the basket for food. You pick up what you feel for $30, what we should be eating. And you let the child push the cart, you let the child go up and down the aisles, and you let the child start picking. And then you suddenly see when they stop at $30, roughly $30, well, that's it. This is what we have to eat for a week. So we're going to eat potato chips, and we're going to have those chocolate goodies and so forth. And it becomes a real interest in education. Again, part of the parental involvement.
And we've actually done some great things. I'm glad you brought that up. We've partnered with United Way to do, they've been a great partner, something that kind of comes out of Lisa's department, which is our Born Learning Academy. And it really is about how do you help parents, as their child's first teacher, create those experiences so that learning isn't just confined to the schoolhouse doors. And we're so thankful for United Way in that partnership.
We'll be right back. We're having a delightful Thursday morning visit with Dr. Trey Duke, who is the Director of Schools for Murfreesboro City Schools, and the lovely Lisa Trail, who is public information and a veteran of WGNS. I imagine this is like old home week for you to be back here. We shall return momentarily.
This is Stan with Parks Auction. The annual Milton consignment sale coming up Saturday, April the 20th. The auction starts at 9.
Good and used farm, construction, and landscaping equipment, trucks, trailers, RVs, boats, campers, and more.
If you got good consignments, holler at me.
Don't miss this community event. This Saturday, the auction starts at 9, and there's even free food.
Be with us Saturday at Milton, 11132 Las Casas Pike.
Firm 3984.
In a world where some saw only an open field, Middle Point Landfill saw an opportunity for dreams to flourish. You see, in 2019, Middle Point made a $125,000 investment into the Oakland High School football field, which was an investment into tomorrow's leadership. The turf that Middle Point helped to lay at Oakland helped pave the way for some students to become standout players at schools like UT and MTSU, and one became a coach at LSU just last year. We're Middle Point Landfill, and we're proud to support the dreams of our youth.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
Spring has sprung, and that means it's time to start planning for your summer road trips. With Bud's Tire Pros by your side, your vehicle will be ready to see the mountains, the beaches, and everything in between. With Bud's Tire Pros' full line of Michelin tires and products, you'll have the peace of mind to hit the road no matter what you drive. Bud's Tire Pros is only 3.5 miles from the Murfreesboro Square. Call Bud's Tire Pros at 896-TIRE or online, Bud's Tire Pros, TN.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in Chattanooga 2 days only at the Marriott downtown Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th. Register now at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
When news breaks, when traffic's horrendous, when the weather's bad. Be the first to get the news, traffic, and weather you want with a text alert from News Radio WGNS. Free text alert. Sign up online at WGNSradio.com.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Bill Krause for the third and final segment of the WGNS Radio Roundtable, and having a wonderful visit with Dr. Trey Duke, who is the Director of City Schools for Murfreesboro, and Lisa Trail, who is the Public Information Officer. As we were talking off the air, I just thought of another task you might look at, and I just, the world of getting the message out in journalism, public information is so key. Wouldn't it be neat to have, not at all schools, maybe all schools eventually, your little PIOs from the school who feed you information about the school?
And a lot of the districts that have high schools really do utilize those journalism students and marketing students to do that, which is
fifth
great.
And sixth graders, though,
Absolutely.
they could be
the
looking at the who,
schools,
what, where, why, and when.
Yeah, the schools have already tapped into those. So if you see the morning announcements, most of those are made by our students now. So they are already utilizing those students, and it is so neat to see.
Fantastic.
Even our pre-K program, you have little 4 and 5-year-olds on telling the news, or of course their news is a little bit less. It's the birthdays of the day.
Bugs Bunny was down the street this week.
Yeah, but if you look at Black Fox, they did a great job. John Pittard, Mitchell, actually a lot of them just incorporate the students onto those morning announcements. Again, teaching them a new skill.
Trey, do you want to give a shout out to the members of your board? And why I say this, men and women who become involved, go to the task of running for election, go to the responsibility of legislating for a school or a city, as my experience was. Do you want to give a shout out to them, name them by name,
That's
and
right.
who they are, and say we all can say one big thank you?
Well, and I'll give a special shout out to our board right now. We are in budget season for next year. In the last 2 weeks, they've spent up to 4 hours in workshops last week and then again this week, trying to make the best decision for our school system and to really help making sure that we're using our taxpayer dollars appropriately. Our school board, I cannot thank of a better school board that I would like to work with, because I said all the time, at the heart of what they do, they just care about students, they care about teachers, and they want to have a great school system. They work well together collaboratively, and it's one thing to have opinions on what's going on.
Sure.
It's another thing to get into the arena and actually say, I'm going to help make very, very tough decisions, and that's what they do. So Mr. Butch Campbell, who's our board chair, been board chair for a very long time, just again has a passion for education, and I couldn't think of a better person to work for. Mr. Jimmy Richardson, who is our vice chair to the school board, again doing a great job. David Settles, also a school board member, great job. Mr. Wes Ballard, who's I think finishing up his second term, so he's been on the board for 8 years, and he has been a great asset. He is rolling off the board this year. We have elections in August, but he has just been a great asset to the board. Really cares about workforce development and are we training our students for the jobs of tomorrow. Miss Amanda Moore is on our school board as well. Excellent board member. Again, she's serving her second term, cares deeply about our teachers' input and parent input, and wants to make sure their voices are heard. And then Miss Karen Dodd is on our board. She's actually a teacher in Rutherford County, so she gets in from both perspectives, which is a great perspective. And Miss Barbara Long, who is also in her first term, who's done an excellent job really engaging our legislators to make sure that our viewpoint is understood. So again, I can't thank our school board enough for the great things they do, and again, because they want what's best for kids. And that's
Stand by. We've got a break-in. We have your chair, Butch Campbell, on the phone to go on the air.
How are you? Hello?
Good morning, Butch. How are you?
I'm good, good.
Well,
Fine,
we just heard some awfully nice comments about you and your colleagues on the board, and welcome to WGNS. And I have to say, and I say this without reservation, you can be totally proud of your team that is educating the children in the city of Murfreesboro.
Well, we are very proud, Bill, and you talked about teachers and supervisors and director and all, but I also want to give a shout out to Lisa Trails, who does a fantastic job with our public information stuff. She is fantastic. She keeps everybody abreast and everybody in the know.
Are you taking a bath or a shower? I just heard running water. I thought, boy, I've never had a person on the air who may be in the shower while they're talking.
I think that's traffic in the background.
Oh, is that traffic? I thought this would make a great story.
Just cars traveling, Bill, that's all.
Drive safely. And,
all right, and thank you very much for having those two on with you this morning.
Well, thank you, and you keep up the great work, and may that budget process and that budget session be the best you've had in your years of service.
Well, it's been great so far, and I'm assuming it will continue to be.
I see great future, great optimism, great passion, and great hope for the Murfreesboro City Schools under the leadership of you and your colleagues, and under the effort and commitment of your tremendous director of schools and his wonderful staff of teachers, staff, and parents.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
We have a wonderful school system, and we have good leadership, and that's important.
Hey, thank you so much for calling in, and do have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thanks, Mr. Campbell.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
So that was very kind of him.
It
So thank you
really
so much,
was.
Mr.
It
Campbell. I
really
have a
was.
great team that I work with as well. And I have to say that across our district, we are so blessed to have great collaboration from our schools to our district level. And you don't always find that. And I think we don't want to take it for granted ever, but it's just nice to know it's there.
And I think Mr. Campbell, that's one of the things about Mr. Campbell as chairman, is he really sets that tone from the top down. This is how we're going to operate. This is how we're going to treat people, regardless of what your job is in the school system. He understands the important role that our educational assistants, our bus drivers, our school nutrition workers. He's a former principal, so he understands what it takes to make a school system run, and he really takes that collaborative teamwork approach from the very top down, and we take our guide from him.
I want to make something really clear from this hour that we've been visiting. This isn't just a promotion of the Murfreesboro City Schools and saying how lovely and how wonderful it is, and it is. But the most important message coming out of this morning's show is the fact that education, specifically public education, has been under great attack on the national, state levels. And a lot of people who are so dedicated, so committed, and so passionate about what they're doing at all levels of education need a pat on the back. They are doing the job. Yes, there are differences of opinion. Yes, there are differences of curriculum. Yes, there are differences of tone and style of what's to be. But what is so important is, as we do a thank you all the time to our law enforcement and a thank you all the time to our military, all who certainly deserve it, it's also a thank you to our men and women in education. And I'm thanking you publicly, and I hope everybody who's out there listening will say right now, thank you.
I will say Teacher Appreciation Week is the first week in May, so we want to our community, we'd love to have you help us celebrate first week of May, Teacher Appreciation Week. Help us show our teachers how thankful we are, because again, public education is the backbone of strong communities, and you cannot have a strong community without a strong public education system, and we want to keep it strong.
Most people don't realize that most state constitutions, the leading objective of a state constitution is to provide public education. Everything else is secondary, even health, safety, and welfare, law and order, and so forth. Education is a top priority in most state constitutions.
As it should be. It's really a security issue. It's a national security issue to make sure that we have citizens who are well equipped to face the challenges that we don't even know are going to exist yet.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you once again to give a shout out. New teachers, needing new teachers, the need to fill spots and so forth. How is the recruiting process at this point?
Actually, it's going really great right now. I know that our website does have a few teacher openings, so if a teacher is out there and would like to join us, they can go to the website and look at what openings we have. When you say that, I want to also say it is also registration time. It is so vital, if a parent wants to help us, is just to register your child so we know which teachers need to be hired for next year.
Yes.
And people ask, like, why are you asking now? It's because we're preparing for the fall and coming back to school. But we are always recruiting teachers. I think that one of those things, we want to get strong ones. We don't want to just have anyone in front of those children. We want to have them highly qualified to teach them. And we are so blessed in the fact that lots of people want to be in Murfreesboro.
How about identification of website and identification of a good telephone number? So for any information, not just teacher recruitment, not just parent involvement, questions about the school, willing to volunteer. What are we doing in May with Teacher Appreciation?
Sure.
Information source.
Yeah, so cityschools.net is our website.
Say
if
it
you
again.
want, cityschools.net. Very easy to remember.
Take the time to write it down,
yes.
folks.
If you're interested in a job, whether it's in teaching profession or any other part of our school district, all you have to do is hit the Apply Now button, and every job opening will pop up there. So cityschools.net. It also has information on the front page about registration, how you register, whether it's a new student or a kindergarten student, which is also a new student, or a current student. So all the information that they need to know to tell us about what's happening next year in their family is there, and we want them to let us know so we can plan and have their child a seat and a teacher ready to go come August.
And I always like to give a shout out to our retired teachers. The state has really made some legislative changes the last few years. So if you're a retired educator and are interested in coming back and doing a short-term interim, or even maybe dipping your foot back into the water, they've really made it a great opportunity where you can get paid, continue to draw your retirement. And we have found some of our retired teachers coming back have been such great assets to us. And that involves bus drivers too. So we're always looking for great bus drivers. So if you're interested in doing that, we have a great transportation department we'd love to talk to you about.
And we will train you on how to drive that bus.
That's right.
And help you get a license.
We'll do it all.
Wow. Can't say anything more greatness. The fortunate ability of the people of Murfreesboro to have educators that not only are doing the job, but that care about the job and care about the students, number one, as top priority. it has been really a fun morning because I love the attitude and the caring and the personalities that you project on behalf of the district, both from the school board, as you shared earlier, there are members, the men and women who give time and effort, but equally the entire staff, from teachers to staff support, and equally to parents who are providing the children to be members of the 9,000 plus community of Murfreesboro City Schools. I hope to have you back right before the fall semester.
Sounds great.
To
We'd
kind
love
of
to come
kick
back.
off 24-25 with the exciting new adventures. And you know, there's nothing as delightful as to watch a kindergarten child first day go to school. And I don't know how many other parents, I'm sure there are many, like my wife and myself, that tear in the eye
right.
when the first one, the second one, right? Yeah, go. There's the bus. But the first one, you see them get on the bus.
It's such a great
And that first person who got on the bus and tears in our eyes is now a news anchor at Channel 5, Jennifer Krause. So it goes way back, so I have a special feeling and friendship for it. Come back and see us. Keep up the phenomenal job. Parents, people of the community, next time you run into somebody from your school districts, and I'm sharing both city as well as Rutherford County, give them a big thanks. Maybe a hug, but give them a big thanks. Good luck and be happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.